they do not go that route. I mean, first of all, we already got the IBF. They handed us that. Okay, we accepted that, knowing full and well that he could never defend that championship, either one of them, because they had the obligations with each other. Okay, so then he finally, for his sake, and I'm glad for him that he fought the world champion who was standing on us at the time, and he won the world championship. So even if he never won the IBF title or never was upgraded to the champion, he won the WBA championship, and along with that, the Ring Magazine champion. So he won those titles outright. But given the criticism that he's faced, I will hope that he doesn't go to who is the perceived weakest link in the division to win a world championship. I'm hoping he does not do that. I'm hoping that Eddie Hearn does not push that narrative on him to get him a championship. Because at this point, championships are getting devalued at a certain point. So I'm saying, this guy was just upgraded to the champion. Okay. So I would say I would hope that he does not do that to try to get him. And then I honestly I don't want to be like, like hating or whatever they think, but I'm saying if you go that route, it's going to take longer for him to fight somebody, because then he's going to need a title defense against somebody that we don't know too. Do you
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? He fights this guy, he wins the title. His first title defense ain't going to be against Fandora in a unification, or backroom for unification. It's not going to be that. So I'm looking for him to make a statement against backroom. And actually, since that kid don't got no fight, and he's perceived to be the boogeyman, both of them perceived to be somewhat of the boogeyman. That's the
Took no
that's the perfect.
damage.
Yeah, he took no damage. That's the perfect fight. Virgil Ortiz and him. The reason why they putting them together, because they were both on their way up at 147. They were both making waves at 147 to the air, to the throne, to the guys that was holding the throne. Okay, but those are some big guys, and you see they moved up, so they held their own as much. Virgil jumped out of there first. Boots stayed down there a little longer, but they were both pitted to see who could fight the top dogs at 47. So that's why they were putting them two together. Now that they both moved up to 54, they still continuing to put that narrative. But I would rather see maybe Virgil fight Xander. I think Xander is a good fighter, but I think he's might probably maybe the weakest link at 54 outside of the guy they just
A
moved
boss.
up. Yeah. So I would like to see Virgil fight him, and then I would like to see this guy fight Backlund. That's what I would like to see. I see the Puerto Rican Mexican rivalry with Virgil and Xander. Then I'll see, and they both kind of need to prove something too. Xander's still on the proving stage at the same time,
Hmm.
so I like to see them fight. And then, like I'm saying, if this guy's the boogeyman, Backroom is the boogeyman, and this guy is the is the a hybrid of Roy Jones Jr. and Terrence Crawford, then there's no reason why he shouldn't be fighting this guy.
Yeah, and that's what Eddie Hearn is saying as well. This is the new Crawford. When Crawford leaves, this is the guy, that we should be, standing by. He left a message in the locker room. I don't know if you got to see it.
Yeah.
We'll play it for you. Here it is. He's describing what's his plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He said he's in the way.
Yeah, but talk is cheap. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap, man. People, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to look like, nobody has no humility these days. Not too many guys. You don't have no humility these days, and um, like I'm saying, I said this analogy, everybody's gonna act tough in front of the camera. Nobody's going to never admit their vulnerabilities or their shortcomings. It's hard to do that, in front of the people. I don't know why, but actually you take some of the sting off when you do. Like I said this before. I seen Muhammad Ali was Cassius Clay at the time. They asked him where he was ranked at. He said I rate myself about number two, right after I forgot some guy. And as much as pride and bravado that he had, like I said, to hear him say that at this time, he said I rate myself about number two. And these guys can learn from that. So um, you put a mic in front of their face, they're gonna say it, but they're gonna say what you wanna what you know what I mean, to try to make themselves look good. And so that's all they doing. Eddie's doing a great job as a promoter, but like I said, it's falling on deaf ears for real. And so they didn't already up the ante with Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz then said it on multiple platforms that he was ready to take the fight. I don't see that he has nothing barring that Xander gives him a shot, or he takes a shot at Backroom himself, or obviously Fedor and them is still tangled up with the Keith Thurman situation. So if he doesn't fight any one of those guys, let's just see him do that. I don't want to see him fight the IB. If he fights the WBA champion, man, we might as well just cancel it. We might as well just cancel it. I don't want to hear nothing else about Boots no more.
Mm.
If he doesn't fight the guys that he said,
Akram, the
Backroom,
champions,
Virgil Ortiz, who else is the other champion?
Pandora,
It's only been two. Fondora's got two belts. Backroom got the one, and the other guy got the other one. So if
and you
he's
got
not
Xander
fighting
Zayas.
in Xander's eyes, okay. So if he's not fighting any of them guys, and I favor him over Xander, and I favor him. I think him and Virgil Ortiz is a 50-50 fight, because I feel like Virgil Ortiz it's not going to be all by those combinations or nothing. I'm not feeling that he's going to be all by those combinations. I feel like he's going to be able to deal with it somewhat. Now, if Boots step it up a little bit and surpass him, like I say, I believe he could do that too. He had to go up another gear on him. He could do that too, but let's just see it now. I don't want to see nothing else. If this guy, out of all that talk, you just seen him say all that talk, right? In the locker room, after the fight, after the fight in the ring, all that talk, and he fight a boss. Come on now.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I hear you. 'Cause he's definitely a new name. I mean, yeah, he did a great job beating what was this the Cuban Talis. Yeah, he did a number on him for sure.
Now we know Talise. Now we know Talise. He was he just Cuban. So we're gonna give him 1,000's credit because he's
And
Cuban.
beat a kind of a worn down J Rock.
Okay. Well, J Rock. We know J Rock was after Jason Rosario jumped on him. So we knew J Rock was finished. We knew J Rock was finished. We knew J Rock was finished when Hernandez beat him on the undercard of Tyson Fury 3. We knew that. Okay.
But then people are gonna say, who is the IBF champion really? He beat a Tim Zoo. We have seen that Team Zoo has kind of not been the same, really.
After Backroom beat the hell out of him, right?
Mm.
After Backroom beat the hell out of him. Yeah, he wasn't the same after Backroom beat the hell out of him. So it says, "What have you done for me lately?" Well, he beat the hell out of Tim Zoo, crushed him in 3 rounds. Who Boots beat?
So do you feel?
Stanionis. Stanionis didn't even have Stanionis. Lord bless him. He didn't even have no wins like Tim Zoo did. He wasn't looking destructive like Tim Zoo was. So that's his best name on his record for real. That's his best fight was against that guy who was a champion because what's the kid's name that gave him? He fought him twice. He wasn't a champion, and he came from nowhere. Who we call him, Karen? Yeah. And so who the guy that beat Rashidi Ellis? He was
Roman
a
Villa.
standing your fate right there, you know. Okay, and he looked good against this guy. He looked spectacular against this guy. But what I'm saying is this: What have you done for me lately? Okay, like all I'm saying is Stanionis didn't even have the build up that Tim Zoo had. He didn't even have nowhere near close to that. And so this guy goes in there with Tim Zoo, who just fought Pandora 6'6", punching, boxing motherfucker to a standstill for real. It was a close fight. It could have went either way, with a big ass gash in his head. With a big ass gash. So he was at a disadvantage. He fighting this motherfucker and the gash, and he damn near won the fight. It was narrow. Comes back, fights this guy. Maybe they moved him too fast. They didn't really look. The guy didn't look as good as he did when he won the title. They didn't look. He didn't look spectacular. None that they saw. So they took him on, trying to get another shot at the title, and it ended disaster for him. So, but like this guy looks destructive. So, and he's the champion now. So this is what I'm saying. He's a IBF champion now, right? He beat a guy that was considered who was a world champion because Tim Zoo was a world champion, right? He was WBO champion, right?
Yeah.
Was he world champion? Okay.
Hmm.
So this guy won his title in how when they stripped Charlo of his titles. He fought a vacant for the vacant title, won the title. First title defense, he
No, he
destroys
didn't.
Tim
He
Zoo.
didn't win the title from Tim Zoo.
No, I know he didn't. I'm saying he won the fight. He won in the vacant title fight,
The
right?
vacant. Yep. 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 Vacant. My
Exactly.
bad.
And
Yep.
then in his first title defense, he fought Tim Zoo, right?
Hmm.
In his first title defense, he fought Tim Zoo, who was a former world champion, right? He's coming off one loss, like I said, a close loss to Fandura with all the attributes with a gash in his head, correct?
Yeah.
So
Did
he
did he did
fought,
he fight Joey Spencer in between for a
did
stay
he
busy
fought, he
fight? I
fought
think he
boxing?
came back with a Joey
He
Spencer.
might have fought. Okay, so then they make it even better. He had a win on his record
Hmm.
coming in, and Baccarin blew him away. So what have you done for me lately? He's won the title. He's beat a former champion convincingly. So now Boots fight this guy, and then we can build on if you're the guy that they say. But a lot of people is disrespecting Shakur because I think he's the guy for real. I think
Mm.
he's the guy.